Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe, me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style. I fall from a lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe, me and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask you some questions, girl, do you mind? What will it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual. Then I remix the flow, getting in the check out my style. I fall from my lane, girl. Watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, kick it around in my coupe, and you just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. Check out my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit true, I change the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up, no, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Hey, we on check out my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just watch me put it down, baby. She on the road, can get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make it mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit true, I taste the whole thing. No, I ain't giving up. Hey, I made an oath, I ain't giving up. Whoa, we on the phone getting spiritual, and then I remix the flow, getting in the
Get yourself some loose pants and grow you a beard. Remember when you had to be credible just to rap? Creeping through the block, drop top, moving. Say the last real niggas that are in jail. That's bullshit. They in U.P.K and we living well.
Real nigga. Keep it real,
winner. Not a drop of the fake in this first. How you call yourself a shooter, but you can't shoot?
You a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger. You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga. Keep it real, nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you're a crippled blood? Is you a real nigga if you been labeled a thug? Keep it real, nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga.
Who gave you niggas a mic?
Supported all the bullshit that you write. Rapping about things you never done in your life. Call me a hater just cause I ain't falling victim hype. And your catalog be playing in my stereo light. Cause the only thing y'all promoting is stereotypes. You niggas rap about racks or loud packs, or that you bust straps first, don't buck back, or how you pump crack. Maybe fuck a few hood rats and only kill blacks. Yo, my nigga, what good's that? You think it's cool we got kids in tears cause his mama overdosed and seen his pops in years? This Rolls model growing up and shoot fucking queers cause you niggas ain't killers, man, you just fucking weird. Look, get yourself some loose pants and grow you a beard. Just get yourself some loose pants and grow you a beard. Get yourself some loose pants and grow you a beard, just a suggestion. Now I only got one question. Is you a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger? You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you on cripple blood? You a real nigga if you been labeled a real nigga, now that's real nigga.
Remember when you had to be credible just to rap. Remember when you had to be credible just to rap. Remember when you had to be credible just to rap. Some of you niggas, I'ma need evidence of your facts. I see you cover up cause it's evident that you whack. You tried to move a couple of packs, caboose stacks. You was never able to tell the truth from a fable. You was never able to tell the truth from a fable. You was never able to tell the truth from a fable. You were undercover sucker, wearing the thug label. I try to school niggas, I do it whenever able. Bruh, get a pen in the pad, you should be grateful. First, how you call yourself a shooter, but you can't shoot. Hitting 9-year-olds when they sitting on their damn suit. First, how you call yourself a shooter, but you can't shoot. Hitting 9-year-olds when they sitting on their damn. First, how you call yourself a shooter, but you can't shoot. Hitting 9-year-olds when they sit again, they damn suit. Strays gunning females down the block corner. Candles and teddy bears decorating the corner. Spilling out a Corona for sending the owner. That don't make you real, it just make you a blood donor. Spilling out a Corona for sending the owner. That don't make you real, it just make you a blood donor. How you niggas still wanna be thug, homie? You ain't gotta kill your people to be gangster. Know some real niggas that's G's, they outrank you. Generals and captains all ready for action. My officers is offering you, cutting you into fractions. Wanna be a blood or a crip, you champion, straight winner. Not a drop of the fake in us. They say the last real niggas better in jail. That's bullshit. U.P.K. and we living well. Is you a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger? You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga. You that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you on cripple blood? Is you a real nigga if you labeled a thug? Keep it real, nigga. We died together, dying on no boats. We died together, dying on no boats. We died together, dying on no boats. Died together, broke round our throats. Now all of a sudden, whatever love we had, we killing each other by the dozens. Greed for gain, make us squeeze them things. Breathing seeds of Cain, need to change, wicked epidemic. Before the white chalk, have another black brother sketched up in it. Kilos for business and strippers. How you the neighborhood hero in the business, kill a nigga, creeping through the block. Drop top, hoop the different flag, get that ass blasted from the ooze and creeping through the block. Drop top, hoop the different flag, get that ass blasted from the ooze. Creeping through the block. Drop top, hoop the different flag, get that ass blasted from the ooze. I use a real nigga running from the struggle. I use a real nigga taking it up the butthole. Where I'm from, red dot, stop the blood flow. Pulling the cars and MC Gusta must know my clique. Tired of dinner, hand and mirrors. Try to separate, take it off the hand and them carrots. Real G's roll meek in silence. Hustling on the corner, preaching violence. If we can't split, gift the peace, equip, reinforcements, visa clips to eat. Now is a real nigga, real nigga, real nigga. Is you a real word, real word, real word? Is you a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger? You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you on cripple blood? Is you a real nigga if labeled a thug? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger? You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you on cripple blood? Is you a real nigga if you been labeled a thug? Keep it real, nigga, real nigga.
You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga if you been finger popping a trigger? You a real nigga if you went and killed another nigga? You a real nigga. You ain't a real nigga, now that's real nigga. Is you a real nigga?
Any beat, their producer.
This is the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command. Hey, y'all niggas mad, huh? I know why y'all niggas mad, though. Cause we ain't affiliated with none of you niggas out there. And that foundation what kept this building up since 1969, nigga. Since y'all want to leave home and cause all types of divisions and shit, cool then. The world already knows. It's just this simple. We not them niggas. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we not them niggas. I told you we them niggas. I told you we them. This is one West. You ain't got my father's business, take far away. I told you we not them niggas. 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 This is one West. U.P.K. You ain't about the kingdom, niggas. Stay up out of way. I told you we not.
Yeah.
They the ones that are out there talking
Also,
about
Isupk.
They don't fear God, well, they don't fear niggas. Spoiled child by spin a ride, yo, Christ is coming to kill niggas. No either might.
Yeah. Give it up. Water outside this, I appreciate it, boy. Alright, y'all. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Brakathum. Yahweh Shemal Athum by Shem Yahshua. Peace and also Dawa Shava of the I.S.U.P.K. Started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. And we've been teaching the truth since 1969. As you know already, today is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. So every Tuesday we broadcast live from Orlando, Florida. The library is Hart Memorial Library, 211 East Dakin Avenue, Hart Memorial Library in Kissimmee, Florida. Every single Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30. Right, we're a little bit late on the time right now, but you can catch us in the library every single Tuesday, y'all. All right, so of course we'll dive into brotherhood questions. Topics revolving around the scriptures. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. We also have the YouTube, the broadcast link posted in the YouTube chat. Also the sign-in sheet posted as well on the YouTube chat. Make sure you click on that if you're looking to get your Hebrew name, if you're new in the school. Also, man, we got the questions provided this week, y'all. Boom. All right, without using Google, right? The only way you're able to participate is through the knowledge of what you know of the scriptures. All right. And if you don't have a good enough amount of knowledge of the scriptures or where to go to find the answers, this is what class is for, right? Tune in every single week so that way you can become more knowledgeable about the Bible, which is primarily Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian history. All right. So all the questions is found in the YouTube chat. All right. The first one is, what book, chapter, verse shows who the true Jews are? That's the first question. Second one is, what do the 7 candlesticks represent in Revelations 1 and 13? Provide the verse. All right. The third one is, who was the first king of Israel? The fourth one is a fill in the blank. It's from Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. blank for this is the whole duty of man. And the last one is what verse was Paul quoting from in Romans 9:25 through 26? So provide the verse as well too. All right. So if you're able to answer all 5 questions, just place it into the YouTube chat. All right. Place it into one comment, and whoever gets it right is liable to win a cash prize. All right. Now these questions ain't too easy, or I hope I ain't making them too hard neither. But for this week, I'll make the prize $15. All right, $15. $15 prize if you're able to answer the questions right. All 5 questions, put it into the chat. All right. And that way you can cash out. You know what I mean? Win a prize without using Google. Make sure you ain't using Google. All right. So this is how we're gonna go about. All right. All right. So no questions so far. That's why I got the questions in there. All right. I must be knowledgeable of the Bible. And I got my main man, who this Trooper Kanak on here with me.
Sir.
Hey, Shalom, Yahbashim Ashar Brakatah. What's going on, warrior?
You have some sharp record. What's going on, sir?
Not much. Good to have you on. Our boy Jaheem hopped off just to hop in the questions, hop in the comments. I dig it. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead. Get you your $15, boy. You know what I mean? Answer all 5 of them, all 5 questions. All right. Just go through the YouTube chat, answer each question, and whoever gets the questions correct, the 5 questions correct, is going to win the cash prize. All right. So it pays to learn the Bible, y'all. It definitely does. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all come in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? This is something that you can gain spiritually and carnally with money. You know what I mean? Get your bread up. You know what I mean? So ain't nothing wrong with getting your bread. So go and get your bread. All right, big up, man. What's going on, Warrior Jaheem as well? Got him with me. Shalom, I don't know if Itazah, you still on Itazah? Probably not. But yeah, we'll get started, man. There's so much going on in the world today. I'm sure y'all heard the news. Y'all heard the news. You know what it felt like when I first heard the news when I woke up? I woke up on Saturday morning. I usually wake up early on Saturdays because that'd be one of the most busiest days of the week. You know, outside of, slaving for our oppressor, but doing my real work is always falls on Saturday. So the first thing I seen when I woke up, man, it felt like, man, like when you in the world, it felt like, Christmas, you know what I'm saying? Like you think about how excited when we was in the world we was when we woke up on Christmas morning to go under the tree to get your gift and unwrap your gift and, play with it all day or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So, man, waking up in the morning and seeing the news of what's going on in the Middle East, man, it brought joy to my heart, man. You know what I mean? I felt excited to see that. Felt good to see that, man. What a time it is to be alive right now, man. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
You talking about the war in Israel, sir?
There we go. The war on Israel, man. The war on Israel. Man, we've been prophesying about this for years and years on coming. You know what I mean? So I know Isupk touched on this on last night class. So make sure y'all tune in, subscribe to the channel so y'all can stay up tuned with each and every class that we do. Also, yeah, man. So Israel is going down. It's going down, y'all. Make sure y'all keep your head in the game. You know what I mean? This is no joke. This is the real deal. This is, gonna continue on happening until it escalates all the way to the return of Christ. All right, that's what we're hoping the outcome will be at the end of all of this, right? And what we have to do, what we have to figure out is as God's chosen people, where do we fit in all of this, right? What role should we play, right? Of course, during this time, during these conflicts, and oftentimes when these conflicts come about, we always hear or see the hashtag pray for Israel or pray for Palestine, right? As a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, it shouldn't be any of our concern of what's going on over there, right? But the conditions and the circumstance of the earth will change. And what we need to figure out, how would it affect us? You get what I'm saying? As the world changed, we must change as well too, or at least adapt to the change. You get what I'm saying? And the change that's coming about is where the Lord is seeking to kick the current residents of that land called Israel out and bring back the true habitants of that land, right? So who are the true habitants? Well, guess what? That's you, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. You are the Israelites. You are the real Jews. God's chosen people are so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And that land rightfully belongs unto us, right? Palestinians and Israelis are fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of them. You get what I'm saying? So for us to understand what's going on, we have to understand our culture, our heritage, and everything that we need to do in preparing ourselves for what the Lord is getting ready to change on this earth, right? We have to gather ourselves together, O nation not desired, right? This is what we are praying for and hoping for, what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can come back to who they truly, rightfully are on this earth and dwell in peace in the land that belongs to them. That's how you know that the Jewish man is not the real Jew, right? Because the Bible prophesied that when the Israelites return back to their homeland, that there will be peace on that land, right? Well, ever since the Jewish man arrived there in 1948, there has been no peace on that land called Israel. It's been war after war after war after attack after attack, and yet they still found no peace. You know why? Because they're not the real Jews. If I'm not mistaken, the news report stated that there was having a festival when Hamas attacked Israel. All right, there was
Hey,
having a.
sir, lucky.
Go ahead, soldier.
And I think it's in the book of Deuteronomy when the Lord said, if you follow him, he gonna have your back and watch your back, and none of your enemies will ever prevail on you. But
Facts. Go ahead. My bad.
nah, that's all, sir.
No, you exactly right, boy. You know what I mean? Like that's what's written in the Torah, right? Isn't that the book that the so-called Jewish man follow? Right? This is the book that don't belong to him. He has no right or claim to that book. Right? That book belongs to the 12 tribes of Israel, which is so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The Bible, the Torah, the Tanakh, right? That belongs to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It's our history, right? And these people took on an identity that didn't belong to them, stole that identity that didn't belong to them. And guess how you think God is going to feel about that? All right? Isn't identity theft a crime here in America? Let you steal somebody's identity here in America. Guess what will happen to you? You're liable to do some jail time, right? Because it is a crime to steal somebody's identity, right? Well, you think America is more just than God? You think America only is the only people or place that understands justice on earth, or doing the right thing and having morals on earth? If you steal something, you have to pay for what you stole. Well, the Jewish man has stolen the identity of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and now they're in war right now, right? Having a whole festival. Where is that festival found in the Bible? I don't know, right? I'm pretty sure there was all type of drugs going on over there. It looked like a Coachella festival, right? They all looked at Europeanized, wearing shorts and t-shirts. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wearing that, but like, I mean, there's nothing cultural significance that I seen from what was going on in that festival. Right? Everything looked at modernized, Europeanized, and nothing to do with the Torah or the Tanakh. Right? And here comes Hamas, some Palestinians paragliding, right, on with some parachutes, and landing in that festival and taking people hostage. You know what I'm saying? This is the beginning of what's to come. The beginning of what's to come. And expect that this is going to escalate. Expect it. You should expect it. Everything that's going on this earth, you should expect it for it to get worse. Each year, there will be a new headline that you are going to be worrying about. You know what I'm saying? Because each year, the Lord is raising the bar. He's raising the temperature up until the coming of our King Yahushua. So for us as his chosen people, we have to make sure that we follow the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. So that way, we don't have to get caught up in this crossfire. You dig what I'm saying? We don't get caught up in this crossfire. All right. So I just wanted to just talk about that. I was just so excited, man. I feel like talking about it and sharing that with y'all. All right. But today's topic, and anything y'all brothers want to add as well, too, go right ahead. But today's topic is going to be on the phrase, only God can judge me. How many of y'all heard that before? Or stop judging, or you can't judge me. How many of y'all heard that before? I'm sure everybody probably heard that, or probably heard it before, or probably said it, right? I'm sure I have. I know I have said that before, even before I came into the truth. That was like the most exclusive statement to ever make. That was the most most powerful statement ever in Christianity. You get what I'm saying? Only God can judge me. Hell, not even Christians don't even Christians say it as well too. And people that's not even Christians say it also. You get what I'm saying? Right. This is said I still hear. Right. Facts. Like this is the number one, phrase in all religion and all walks of life, all people on earth, stand behind the phrase, you can't judge me, only God can judge me, or stop judging. So what we're going to do is go into the scriptures and to find the true understanding of what it means to judge somebody, right? And we'll figure it out whether or not if there's any truth to that. If it's wrong for somebody to judge somebody, right? Let's get the true understanding what judgment or judging somebody really is, right? Let's go in the Bible. Let's get that. Let's get what every Christian goes through. Go ahead, soldier.
I believe it's in Revelation where it said the saints to judge the world.
Yeah, we're gonna grab all of that. Yeah. If you could hold that and somebody grab me, I think it's in Acts that says that it's where it might be in Revelation that says the saints shall judge the world. And grab me where all the Christians go to where it says, judge not, so you shall not be judged. I'm paraphrasing. All right. Make sure y'all on question number 2, provide me the verse, provide me the precept. Right. Question number 2 is, let me go to question number 2. It says, what do the 7 candlesticks represent in Revelations 1-13? Right? Y'all giving me the right answers, which is the 7 schools, right? What precepts or what verse proves that is the 7 schools? All right. I love to see it. I see some answers, man. Y'all getting it in with these answers. Make sure you ain't using Google. Most High in Christ, y'all. All right, so let me get those 2 verses. Let me first start out with the one that Christians always gravitate towards.
What you asked for, Sir Salaki?
Judge shall be judged not, or something like that. It's in the New Testament. Condemn, so you don't be condemned not, judge, so you don't judge not, something like that. Paraphrasing. Were you able to find it, Warrior?
You can hear me?
Kind of, you know.
I got it, sir. This is
All right, you got it, Warrior.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged.
Uh-oh. There you go. There you have it. Right? Judge not, so ye be not judged. That is the number one go-to scripture when people find any excuse on not taking accountability for their actions. Right? Judge not, so ye be not judged. Who are you to judge me? Right? Now give me the one that you also quoted in either in Acts or Revelation. No, not the saints shall judge the earth. Or I think that's in Hebrews. It's somewhere in the New Testament.
Wait, say that again, sir?
Know not that the saints shall judge the earth.
Oh, yeah. Come on, put it.
All right. So we read that verse where it says judge. So judge not, so ye be not judged. Right. We read that verse. Right. And that's the number one scripture most people will go to. So what we have to understand is the true understanding of that verse. Right.
I got the
You have
other
to
one.
understand what judgment is. Go ahead, soldier.
This the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do ye know, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Right. Read where you was at one more time.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2.
Right, now make sure y'all write this down. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Right. This might come up on another question, y'all. So y'all trying to cash out on these prizes, make sure y'all write this down, right? What we going through down. This is a class, y'all. Right. So 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. What does it say?
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
That the saints shall judge the world. Who are the saints according to the Bible? Go ahead.
Wouldn't the saints be Israelites?
Right. Israelites, right? Do you know the precept?
La.
Okay. Somebody pull that precept real quick. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Psalms. All right.
I think I do know what you're talking about, so
God, the Israelites are the saints. We are the saints. That's who the Lord considers the saints, right? The Israelites. Only an Israelite can be considered a saint, right? He said, race hustling type diabetes, man. How can you follow a dude who can't even control who are you referring to? Who are you referring to? David Ligma? Who are you referring to? I have no idea who you're referring to.
You want the saints scripture, sir?
Yeah, if you could, Baba Kasha. Right? We're going to prove who the saints are. Right? Who are you referring to, David Ligma? Last time I checked, I'm pretty healthy, brother. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Everybody here on this side, we good. We all healthy out here. All right. You got that, Warrior? What you got?
Psalms 148, verse 14.
Go ahead.
This book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints,
If
even
I
of the
could, Officer
children.
Tamayan, if you could mute your phone, Baba Kasha. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, Sluggy, my phone was on mute, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. Shalom, Yabrish Quata.
Come on, sir.
The water, Warrior.
This book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Right. The children of who?
Of Israel.
The children of Israel are considered the Lord's saints. So the children of Israel, we know these are a race of people that exist on earth. And the Lord said in 1 Corinthians 6:2 that these race of people will do what?
Salakia. Let me go back to it. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
They shall judge where?
The world.
Well, guess what? The Bible just said, judge not. So what should we do? Should the Israelites judge or not judge? Does the Bible contradict itself? The Bible doesn't contradict itself. I don't find any contradiction in it. You know what I mean? It's real consistent. Through and through. From Genesis to Revelations, the Bible is real consistent. So if it's going to say one thing in another verse, it is in the same consistency of what it says in somewhere else in another verse. You know what I mean? The Bible is real consistent. So what word do we have to get a understanding of to understand the context of what Matthews is talking about? What word out of 2 verses? Go ahead.
Wait, say that again, sir.
What word out of those 2 verses from 1 Corinthians 6:2 and the book of Matthew where it says judge not? What word do we have to grab and get an understanding of in order to know the context of what each verse is talking about?
Judge. You gotta understand what judge mean.
You gotta understand what judge mean. Now, for the most part, most people will think judge means by you telling them what they're doing is wrong, you're judging them. That's what most people will think by default, right?
Con.
When somebody tells you what you're doing is not right, or it rubs you the wrong way, or you feel that you have to take accountability for something, right? The first word that pops in their mind is judging. Right? That's what we think being judged is. When that's not what judging is. That's not what judging is. Judging is not telling somebody what they're doing is wrong. That's not what judging is. Hell, that's what's needed on this earth. Right? And the lack of morality is the reason why people are finding themselves in a detriment position that they're in right now today on this earth. Right? Because nobody's willing to hold nobody accountable for their actions. Everybody is free game for everybody. Well, there's always consequences behind your actions. That's one thing that people don't understand. Right? And most people will say, well, live fast and die young. Well, you young, you might do what you want to do. And well, guess what? All of that stuff can catch up to you. YOLO, right? That's what they love, it. YOLO. I remember that, you know what I mean? Drake had a track talking about you only live once, YOLO. You know what I mean? And there's many people that live by that motto. Many people that live by that motto. Hell, at one time, I lived by that motto. You get what I'm saying? But you got to understand that eventually you're going to reach the ceiling. Right? There is a cap to everything. Right? There is consequences to every action. To every action, there's a reaction. Right? And somebody telling you so you don't hit that glass ceiling, so you don't hit the floor, so you don't get yourself in a messed up situation. You have people that'll tell you what you're doing is wrong to forewarn you, to steer you in the right direction, to give you the help that you need. And most people will take it as you're trying to judge them. Right? That's not what that's talking about. So if the saints is going to judge the earth, what are the saints going to be doing? What does the word judge mean?
So
Go ahead.
wouldn't judge mean to like sentence somebody to like some form of punishment or something?
You're exactly right, right? When you go to the court of law, right? Who do you stand before? Right?
A
Like you
judge.
go you stand before who?
A judge.
A judge, right? And this judge determines what? Now he has to listen to both sides. He has to listen to the prosecutor and the defense. Now, both sides will argue their case, whether this person should be prosecuted or should they should not be prosecuted, right? And now it comes down to one thing, right? It comes down to who? To the judge, right? And whatever the judge decides to do, right? He lets it be known, right? And what does the judge decides in that courtroom?
You're sentencing.
You're sentencing, right? And when he smacks that gavel, that's when you receive what?
Your judgment.
Your judgment, right? A judgment is a sentence, is a sentence on a person, right? By telling somebody what they're doing is wrong, is not necessarily judging somebody. You know why? Because you're not doing what?
You're not sentencing them.
You're not sentencing them, right? Now let's use one of the laws for an example. Homosexuality, good or bad according to God?
Bad.
Bad, right? Telling somebody that they're not supposed to be a homosexual, is that judging them? La'ah. What would be judging them according to the Bible?
Stoning them.
Why?
Because that was the law. That was the punishment of being a homosexual.
That is the judgment. That is the sentencing. Right? Telling somebody not to be a homosexual is not judging them. But punishing them according to what's written of in the law would be a judgment. Your sentence is the judgment. Right? Theft is a crime, right? Is it not? It's a crime, right? Most will agree it's wrong to do. Most of us will agree, right? And I don't know if y'all know, in the state of California, they got it where where you can rob or you can steal from certain stores or retail stores, and they won't arrest you for it or give you any jail time if it's not over a certain amount. Y'all heard that before? Y'all familiar with that? Right? They got like a whole set of videos online that you can look up where people are just going inside retail stores and grabbing items out of those retail stores, and none of the co-workers try to stop them. I don't know if y'all heard about that. I forgot the name of the actual law that's written or the statute that's written that allowed them to do that. Somebody said Salaki.
Well, I heard about like people like going into like CVS and stores like that and just stealing the place, and the co-workers just they can't do nothing, you know. They told not to do anything.
Right. Even the security can't do anything, right? That's like, it's a written law in California, right? You cannot apprehend them, right? Or neither will the police show up unless it's something that of a great amount or price amount. Right? Now imagine you owning a store and somebody broke into that store and stole from that store. What do you expect to get out of what happened to you?
I expect them to receive judgment.
You expect them to do what? To receive judgment, right?
Come.
Right. Now imagine you just simply telling them what they're doing is wrong. It's some form of judgment. Simply telling them what they're doing is wrong is some form of judgment, right, on this earth. And imagine that person telling you, that's stealing from you, turns back and says, you can't judge me. Who are you to judge me? Eventually, that person is going to steal everything in your store until you ain't going to have nothing left. All right? Judgment is needed to stop crime. Is needed. All right? And there's a difference between telling somebody what they're doing is wrong and actually punishing them for what they're doing. Right? There's a difference between the two. So let's jump back to Matthew. So like I didn't even know you was in the back in the back of the stream, man. So like, I just noticed that I put you on right now.
It's all good. The water. Shalom. Y'all but some good.
Shalom, the water warrior for hopping on. Let's jump back to Matthew real quick.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged.
Read that one more time.
Judge not, that ye be not judged.
So what does that mean? From what we were just what we talked about right now. What does that mean? Judge not, so you be not judged.
Would it be don't make no unlawful judgment?
Not necessarily. Because what would be an unlawful judgment then? You would have to give an example of that, what you're talking about. Somebody else that's Salakia?
Young man Lewis.
All right, go ahead.
Is this judgment talking about, like, say for instance, you, like, I myself coming into the truth, and now that I'm in the truth, I want to start how can I say, like, punish people for being, LGBT or stuff like that, when I also needed to be punished because I've done also things in the world until I came into the truth.
Yeah, right. It's not talking about you telling somebody what they're doing is wrong. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about enacting judgment, right? Judgment, like we said, is the pronunciation or the sentencing on a person, right? To sentence somebody, it got to be according to what's written on the law. And like the example that Lewis gave, like somebody that's part of the LGBT community, according to God laws, that person must be put to death. Now, are we out here running around putting LGBT members? I can't even say death, right? My bad. Unalive?
You have to say unalive alternative lifestyle members.
All right. Okay. The water word, right? Is that what we running around doing? Unalive and alternative lifestyle members? Right? Now, all of us have done wrong against the Most High. So when Christ is making this statement, he's not saying not to get your life right or not to take accountability for your actions or not to do what's right to make sure that you're perfect in the eyes of the Most High. Right? He's not trying to give you an excuse for your way of life on this earth. That's not what Christ is trying to do. He's not trying to give you excuse for you wanting to eat whatever you want to eat on this earth. It's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to understand that most people are going to be granted a second chance. And in that second chance, it is not your role to enact the judgment or the sentencing on somebody else that did wrong as well too. All right? Y'all get what I'm saying? Being that you had to be put to death, don't go around running around trying to put nobody to death for the wrong that they do. That's what it's talking about. Right? There's also judgments in the Bible that says I think it's the adultery one, that if you find somebody committed adultery, you got to set them on fire or something like that. Something like that. Or stone their head or dig a hole, put the
Yeah,
head on your head.
you gotta stone them.
All right, there's different kind of judgments written of in the Bible. Some where you got to be burnt. You know what I mean? They got to set you on fire. Or some of them, they dig a hole and only your head is showing. If I can grab some of those, you know what I'm saying? And only your head is showing. And they will stone just that. They would just stone your head. That's it, until you pass. You dig what I'm saying? Now, if I were to actually be judging somebody, then I would have to do it according to the judgment of the law. That's when I will be actually judging somebody. The same way if you were to go in front of a judge and he sentenced you for the crime that you committed. All right. So when the Christ said, judge not, so you be not judged, is not talking about telling somebody what they're doing is wrong. It's talking about the actual judgment, right? Behind the punishment behind doing what's wrong. Right? Now, of course, is there consequences behind doing what's wrong? Do we have ground rules that we set here in this school? Of course we do. Is there punishments and stuff like that? Of course there is. There is fines and all of that put in place. You dig what I'm saying? Now, are we wrong for implementing those on people? No, we're not. You know how I know? Give me 1 Corinthians 6:2. All right.
Come. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Right. As Israelites, we are set here to judge the earth. Right? To judge the earth. To making sure that everybody that is of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian descent, right, of the 12 tribes of Israel, that's the descent of Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians, that they're keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. And those that don't abide by the rules that we set, even in this school, right, you're liable to get punished behind it. Now, of course, we ain't putting you to death or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's always a consequence behind your action. And of course, in all things, you will get forewarned of what you're doing is wrong before you get judged for your actions, right? And here we have a great system set up, right? This is why we have rank and order in the I.S.U.P.K, right? Because you'll have brothers that will tell you what you're doing is wrong. If a brother is out of order, there's somebody that's above him that will tell him what you're doing is wrong. And by telling him what he's doing is wrong is not judging, right? Most people will take that like, you can't judge me. Right? That's why it's hard for most people to come into I.S.U.P.K, to even follow God, right? Because they feel so guilty. They you know what I mean? Their ego don't allow them to actually be like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong, right? So some way they got to spin it to where, you know, they're not at fault, right? And that's the way of the whole earth, right? The earth has implemented that in our brains since a youth on up, and has taught you how not to take accountability for your actions. And we get so offensive when somebody tells you what you're supposed to be doing, especially our people, boy. You know what I mean? And this is all who we talking to anyways. You know what I mean? You tell a black man what they, you know, they can't be doing what they, you know, to try to tell a black woman they're not supposed to be twerking. Try and do that. You know what I mean? Try to tell her to cover up. Guess what? This is gonna be a long night for you if you try and do that. You know what I mean? Because don't nobody think that they can be told what they're doing is wrong. You get what I'm saying? Well, the Bible says that the saints are here to judge the earth. Right? There is gonna be a time Well, our warnings is going to run out. Mercy is going to run out. Right? And this grace period that we have right now, this is the opportunity for every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to right their wrongs and acknowledge the fact that you have done wrong. And you've done wrong. Maybe you have done some wrong. Well, God has given you that grace, that opportunity, that second chance to make it right, to do it no longer again. Right? He's not giving you free range to continue in your mistakes. He's not giving you free range to think you can do whatever you want to do. If that was the case, guess what? A crackhead would never die of overdose if that was the case, right? Most crackheads who smoke crack, they smoke it because they enjoy the high that it gives them, right? They enjoy the feeling that they get from smoking crack. But guess what also comes with smoking crack? Can anybody help me out? Somebody whispered it. Go ahead and say it. Who said that?
Sluggish.
Go ahead.
Death.
Right. Right. And I guarantee you ask most crackheads, I'm sure they'll tell you that they want to live forever. Don't no crackhead want to die smoking crack. It's too good. They want to smoke it until they 90 years old. You get what I'm saying? But guess what? Because they're smoking that, and the Lord told us not to do that, there is a judgment behind it. And that judgment comes with death. Right? You cannot just do whatever you want to do on this earth. There's always a consequence. There's always a consequence. And there's a wise saying goes that smart men learn from their own mistakes, but wise men learn from the mistakes of others. Right? It would behoove you to learn of the mistakes of others. Right? And that's what the whole Bible consists of. It's a whole book. It's not just a book that romanticizes the Israelites. Right? It also gives you their trials and errors on what they messed up at, on what they fell at. And this book existed long before any of us existed on this earth. So what makes you think that we have all the information, all the knowledge in our short period of time of living? Why not go to those that experience the same thing that you may be experiencing today? So that way you can learn what to do on this earth so you don't suffer the same consequences that we read about in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? And the Lord has set up saints on this earth, right, to forewarn our people so they don't fall victim to those consequences. But if you don't get it right, if you don't take heed to it, that grace will run out. That mercy will run out. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when the Lord's judgment will reign on this earth. Hell, you seeing it happening right now. Right now in the Middle East. Yo, yeah, you're right. People like to say only God can judge me. Well, guess he's judging you right now. That's what God's judgment looks like. You get what I'm saying? His judgment is not just, okay, let me just hug you and pat you on the back and tell you that everybody makes mistakes and it's going to be okay. Right? In most cases, God he gets angry. You get what I'm saying? And in his anger, it ain't nothing nice. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like you can do whatever you want to do on this earth, guess what? There is many consequences that the Lord can perform on this earth. And war is one of them. Death is one of them. Destruction is one of them. High blood pressure is one of them. Diabetes is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Drug overdose is one of them. Mental illness is one of them. Right? These are all the judgments that the Lord implemented on this earth to keeping his people on in check and doing what's right. So as a brother, what's right for me to do? Or a sister, what's right for her to do is to do what? Right? Like the sister put here. Correcting is making us better people. Right. It is our job to tell each other and correct each other and talk to each other, making sure that we're all on the same page. All right. This is our job to do. All right. And those who are habitual offenders will receive consequences behind their action. Right? Continue on. Whoever was reading. Or anybody want to say anything? I don't know if y'all said Salakia.
With First Corinthians, sir.
Khan, Baba Kashal.
Con. And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Are we unworthy to do what?
Judge the smallest matters?
What you mean? So what is that talking about? Right? If the earth is going to be judged by us, are we unworthy to even judge the smallest matters? Right? The Bible is saying the opposite of what most people think judging is. This is what the scripture is really talking about. Like, we have the responsibility to make sure that we enact justice and judgment on this earth. And we have the responsibility to also forewarn our people so they don't fall into the consequences behind their actions. This is what the Lord gave the saints authority over on this earth. To even judge the smallest matters between us. It is right for somebody to tell the next person what they're doing is wrong. Because that's not even what judging is. All right. What really is judging? Will somebody tell me what judgment is? We just talked about it in the class. What is judgment?
You said judgment?
Go ahead.
Judgment is the sentencing, like after you already sentenced it. That's your judgment.
That's what judging is. All right. Not telling somebody, right, what they're doing is wrong is judging them. But the sentencing on a person, right? The punishment of breaking that law, the consequence of breaking that law, right? The Lord gave the saints the authority to do so, right? And if you're a decent person who believes in morality and believes in doing what's right, man, there's nothing wrong with making sure, if you care about that person, right, there's nothing wrong with making sure that they on their square. That's if you care. All right, because love is correction. Truly is. It is correction. And you have to swallow that pride and take it as that. Take it as love. Don't take it as a bruise to your ego or somebody trying to hate on you. You know what I mean? Who are you to judge me? It's actually love. They're trying to correct you so you don't fall in harm's way. Right? Any more on that?
It just goes on about how we gonna judge the angels. You want that part,
Okay.
sir?
Nah, you can drop that. Let me grab in the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2.
Plug, so what verse is that?
Start me at verse 1.
Can I read?
You got a word.
Okay. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly sit, reasoning within themselves, but not aright. All life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man, in the death of a man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Right.
Verse
So
2.
this is what the unrighteous will say within themselves. Right? Don't this sound familiar? What does this sound like? We mentioned it earlier in the class. Go ahead.
It sounds like almost like a YOLO thing. Like when
Yeah.
they say YOLO, you only live once.
You only live once. There's no remedy in death. Nobody comes back from life. This is the only life to live. Live it up. You only live once. Who cares what other people got to say about how you live on this earth? You only have one chance of living it. How many of us ever thought like that? Let's show your hands, right? I'll raise my hand. You know what I mean?
Cancer.
I thought like that. All right? Because this is something that's been embedded in our brains through the Christian church. You ever wonder why the Christian church has a high rate of molestation? A high rate of adultery? A high rate of homosexuality? A high rate of promiscuity? You ever wonder why? Because nobody is being properly taught what they're doing is wrong according to God. Everybody just go to church to feel justified for their actions. It's an ego booster, right? They go to church to praise, to dance. They feel energized once they get out of those church doors on Sunday. They feel energized and feel like they accomplished something. Not knowing that their lifestyle that they live in is wrong and evil in the sight of God. But nobody's willing to tell them that because nobody want to be what? All right, please don't whisper, y'all. Can y'all just say Salaki, say it on the mic? I hear somebody whisper. Just say the answer, y'all. Come on, we Negroes, man. We in class. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead. Somebody said Salaki. Oh yeah, Sean, don't be bashful, man. Come on.
Wait, what was the question, sir?
Huh?
What was the question, sir?
All right, don't nobody correct nobody in church because don't nobody want to do what? Or what they categorize it as.
Being judgmental.
Being judgmental.
Because nobody want to be judged.
Don't nobody want to be judged. All right, you said Salaki Aitazab?
I was gonna say the same thing. Well, like, yeah, they don't want to. They don't say
you kind of low outside Tazab.
Thank you.
They don't say nothing to nobody because
I can see you later.
they don't want to.
I'm in a class.
Seem like they're judging.
Oh, right. So good, my friend. I'm in a class.
If you could, Louis, could you mute your phone real quick?
Tamale? I'll taste it. Oh, it looks so good, my friend. I'm quickly in a class, and when I'm finished, I'll come back to you.
Louis. Yeah, he muted up.
You better be passing out them tamales to everybody, Louis. Send me something. Yeah. You over here talking about tamales, nigga. Let me get some, man. Nah. But yeah, make sure you mute up then when you have a side conversation. But yeah, like what Itazab said. You know what I mean? Don't nobody want to feel judged. They don't want to feel condemned. Right? And they always run to the verse in Matthew and thinking that's what that's talking about. They think by telling somebody what they're doing is wrong, it is them being judged for it.
It's like,
right? Go ahead. So,
if I could as well, like they
like y'all can hear me?
I can hear you.
Is it staticky?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second.
Salakia, sir. I thought I was on mute.
I know, boy. You got them hot tamales going around, boy.
Salakia.
Trying to make everybody hungry.
Salakia, sir. I really thought I was on mute.
They over there showing brotherhood, boy. They breaking bread.
Can't, sir.
Like, you want
That,
some of these
that's
tamales, bro?
God.
Ain't you around a bunch of Benjamites? Why they making tamales?
Salakia, sir. There are also Asherites here and Simeonites.
Oh, okay. Shit, most sound crazy.
Yeah, y'all can hear me now.
We can hear you.
All right, you gotta ask
Kana
that.
on cut.
No, I was gonna say, I was gonna add, like the verse is not even saying don't judge at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying like they don't even understand. They don't understand the Bible because it's saying don't judge unless you want to be judged too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like for layman's in layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, like Christ did. Like Christ when he found that woman who was found in adultery, and he said, "Cast the first stone." You know what I'm saying? Like he was allowing them to judge her, but with regards that they need to know. I mean, like they can't judge if they need to be judged too. Like they're guilty
Mm-hmm.
too. You know what I'm saying? He could have
Right.
Christ could have judged her, but also your
Mm-hmm.
judgment can lean two ways. You can either punish that person or you can have mercy on them. That's judgment. That's your judgment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's not saying don't judge at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, be, you know what I'm saying? Like consider the fact that you might need to be judged too. Are you guilty? You know what I'm saying? Are you
Mm-hmm.
guilty just like they guilty? Like Christianity, I'm so like thankful for the Most High Christ and for Commander and YAHANNA for teaching me the truth about the Bible. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And not the lies that they teach in church about judging. Because
Facts.
how else do you correct the nation? How else do you fix people? Like you've been saying all night. How else do you get right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How do you train your child? You gotta judge your child. You gotta either punish them or have mercy on them
Mm-hmm.
for if they did something wrong. So if they did something wrong and you never say anything, you never tell them, nah, that's not wrong, they're gonna grow up thinking that whatever they did was right and okay.
Right.
They never gonna correct themselves.
Damn right. Damn right, boy. You know what
I'm
I'm saying?
sorry, I be long winded. I get it from Captain Warrior.
Nah, I don't listen. I don't mind that at all, man. If any of y'all want to say anything, it's to wild, man, because it's right on point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will take that scripture as their excuse to do whatever they want on this earth. And God never gave you any excuse at all. There is no excuse to your actions at all. You know what I mean? You are to do what's right on this earth and making sure that you're perfect in the eyes of the Most High. And how could you achieve that goal if nobody's out there correcting you? If nobody's giving you the standards to life or the moral compass to life. You would think whatever makes you feel good must be what's right. That's how most people think. If it brings them happiness, if it makes them feel good, if it boosts their ego, they'll do it.
Yeah.
That's how most people think. And to them, because they feel that way, it must be right. It must be A-OK to do because how I feel behind it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
They put their feelings involved and they will go full-fledged with it. Right? But the Lord has set a roadblock. He put a ceiling to the roof. You get what I'm saying? He put a cap to all of this. A standard is implemented on how we supposed to live. And we have to live and abide within those guidelines if we want to live, or else we'll be judged. Like how Palestinian is being in Israel is being judged. You get what I'm saying? Or how Hawaii is being judged. That's judgment. You get what I'm saying?
Con.
That's what judgment
So
is.
like it.
If I were, I got you real quick, Warrior. If I were to judge you, guess what? If I were out there judging you for what you was doing that was wrong, guess what I would be doing? I would either be putting you in handcuffs or either be stoning you to death. If I was out there judging our oppressor, I would for sure put him in chains. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the sentencing of his crime or of his wrongdoing. Right? But by me saying what he did is wrong is not judging. Me telling somebody else what they're doing wrong is not judging. Because judgment is the pronunciation or the sentencing on a person. Right? Go ahead, Officer Isupk.
So like now I was just gonna add Donald Trump is being judged.
Fact.
Literally.
Literally. You know what I mean? He is being judged, right? In the court of law. Until that judge smacks that gavel, what they say, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as that judge smacks that gavel on the podium, that's when your judgment is set. Your judgment is set. Right? And like outside the Zab, if you're going to sentence somebody, make sure that you don't deserve that same sentencing. You get what I'm saying? Right? Don't say that you can't tell somebody what they're doing is wrong. Right? Continue on, Lewis, if you could. Oh, he went to go eat.
Con, I don't want.
Forget y'all.
Salah, Salam, yes. Salah, yes, Salam, yes.
Nah, I'm not right. You got it.
All right, kind. The wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter, though we hereafter we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our hearts.
Right.
Verse
like
3.
what is they trying to convey here? Like the breath of our nostrils is just a smoke. Like the moving in our hearts is just what they're trying to convey. Like what they're saying in this beginning of this chapter. That life is what?
Shalaki, so can you hear me?
God, I hear you.
I mean, like, is it like saying, how can I say it? Like,
now remember, this is what the unrighteous is saying. The unrighteous is saying this. Remember that, right? So what is they trying to convey? What they saying?
It's like the slugs. It's like they saying you just breathing for like your life is a short time, and like the breath you are taking is like it's just for the short while. So like you gotta do what you need to do. I don't know how to put it really.
No, you're exactly right, boy. You get a brother in here. You know what I'm saying? You're exactly right. That's what it means, right? That's what they're trying to say. Like they're trying to say life is short, right? The breath, meaning the life of us being alive, is like smoke, right? Smoke ends up evaporating, right? It don't lingers around for a long time, right? And this is how they're trying to explain how life is to somebody unrighteous, or their mindset to somebody that's unrighteous. They don't think about the long haul consequences. Right? They just think about what they need right now or what's suitable for them right now. You understand what I'm saying? Because most people are embedded with the thought that life is so short. You have to live it up. Now, life is a tedious thing. It's very fragile, right? And you can be here one day and you could be gone the next day, right? But if you're going to live it up, make sure you live it up in the righteous way. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning
Right.
put all your might and put all your soul and your spirit into doing what's right for the Most High. Exhaust every fiber, bone, and energy that you have in your body to making sure that you're serving the Lord, our God, in righteousness. That's what your mind should be focused on while you in this short life. But the unrighteous will think in their short life that they have to eat as much as they can put their mouths on. They have to sleep with as much as people they can
No, they
sleep.
can't get no more stats.
So like,
They gotta enjoy and have all type of fun as much as they can, right? Somebody else said Salaki?
I think
And shut it.
Paul said it. He said,
No,
if we
get
live,
out
it's
and
for
shut
the
the door.
Lord. If we die, it's...
Triple Kana, your phone unmuted. Unless you make it tamales too.
Nah, sir, my phone's on mute.
We heard you.
Yeah, we definitely heard you. We heard them tamales now. I'm gonna come through and give God them joy.
Yeah.
No, we ain't cooking no tamales. I ain't saying nothing about no tamales.
In Orlando.
Yeah.
You working in the class.
Like,
But go ahead, Johnny.
On the scriptures say, if we live, it's for the Lord. If we die, it's for the Lord.
Right. That's what your whole life existence is all about. Living for the Most High, keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, not to live for your own self pleasure. All right, because if it's up to you, a crackhead will live forever. If it's up to you, you will smoke that crack, right? Like that in the movie. You want to get high, don't you?
Right.
You want to smoke? That's what a crack. That's his mind because it feels good to him to do it. And if it's up to him, he will do it for the rest of his life. But the Lord has set a standard in place to where a crackhead can't get high all his life. Because there is a consequence behind it. If it's up to living up to your own pleasures or making your own pleasures as the standard to living right on this earth, you will lead yourself to destruction. It's human nature. Because to us, we don't know how to tell ourselves no. We don't know how to do that. It's never enough when it feels good to you. But guess what? There is a greater power out there that tells you when it's enough. And if you don't listen to it, there's consequences. Y'all get me?
got another one, car.
Go ahead.
Salaki, so you want me to continue reading?
Baba Kashad.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 3. Which being extinguished, our bodies will be turned into ashes, and our spirits shall vanish as the soft air.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Our names shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
And our life shall pass away as the trench of a cloud.
All right. All of that is just different ways of them saying YOLO, right? Go read on.
And shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away, which the beams of the sun, and overcome with heat thereof.
Continue on.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there be no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Verse 6. Come therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Right. This is what is in the mindset if somebody were to be raised in the Christian church. I know I was. And this is what our mindset was bent on. Right? Your life is short. So now let us enjoy all the things that makes us happy. Whatever it is that make you happy, go for it. If it means divorce that man, go ahead. If it makes you happy, do it. Right? Now, we don't think about the long haul consequences or the long term consequences, but right in that particular moment, it needed to be done in order for our own happiness. Right? Because in our selfish way of thinking, we only think of ourselves. It's human nature. When you need a guideline, and there is people on this earth that understand that guideline. And as their job in understanding the guideline, they are to tell you what to do on this earth and what is right and what is wrong according to God on this earth. And it's not because they're judging you, because if they were judging you, they would have been doing what? Give me the word I'm looking for. Go ahead.
Correcting?
So not correcting you. If they were really judging you, they would be doing what? You said Salakia?
Oh,
you said what?
Salakia.
I heard somebody else said Salakia. I'm not sure what that was. I'll get
that
you
was
that.
Kayal.
You said who?
Super Kayal.
Oh, Trooper Kayal, what's going on? Kayal, what's going on, Worry?
How much? How about you, Shabbat?
Shalom, Yabrakta. What was the answer, Worry?
I was saying, unalive somebody.
Which is true, right? Which is true. But what word?
Lucky.
Go ahead.
Sentencing.
Give the brother a hand. You know what I mean? Give the brother a hand. They will be sentencing you, right? The ones that understand the guidelines of God, if they were really judging you, they would be sentencing you. Now, whatever that sentence is, according to the laws of God, that's what will be enacted on this earth. All right? But by telling them or telling you what is wrong or what's right is actually a sign of love. That correction is needed for you to change your life, man. Being told what to do is needed for you to change your life. All right? Read on.
Verse 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointment, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
All right, let us fill ourselves with good drink. However, how you have to get it. If you got to sell dope to eat good, to live good, to have the finest things on earth, let's get it speedily, as quick as we can. Get fast, get money fast. Everybody got some get rich scheme going on. Easy come, easy go. All right, read on.
Verse 8. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be with it. Verse 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness.
All right.
God. And let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this, for this is our portion, and our lot is this.
Right. Now, all of this is explaining how somebody that don't serve God would think like. Right. Now, jump me down in that same chapter where it explains what somebody that do serve God and what their mindset is on. Right. Is there a portion on there at the bottom of that chapter that talks about that? How the Lord gonna bless the righteous?
Uh, so- and people thought we esteem. Let us examine the let us consider. Let us see. For God created man and never slug is yes, verse 14, he was made to reprove thoughts. His
Yeah, read
ways
that part. He was made to reproof what? Yeah, read that verse right there. Start from right there.
verse 14. He was
Mhm.
made to reprove our thoughts.
Right now, this is what the unrighteous is saying against the righteous. Right, the ones that want to live by their own means, by their own happiness, and don't want nobody to tell them what to do. That don't want nobody to try to correct them in their behavior. Who always think that because somebody tell you what you're doing is wrong, is you judging them. Right? Those people is saying this against the ones that adhere to the correction of the Lord, that want to do what's right. This is their statement against them, right? Read on. Read that part
Verse
again.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15. He, he is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Right. This is what the unrighteous think. Right? As the righteous is made to reprove. What does the word reprove mean?
Salakia is to correct.
To correct. Right? The righteous is made to correct the wicked, to tell people what they're doing is wrong, to warn them of what they're doing, to let them know, hey, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do it like this. Do that. It's wrong to do this. Out of love, they're doing that. Right? And the unrighteous will take it as something that's grievous. Right? What did the statement did it say there?
It says he is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Right. It bothers people being told what they're doing is wrong. So that's why they run to the statement, you can't judge me. When the Bible just said that's what is supposed to happen. We're supposed to be accountable for each other. Right? But everybody runs to, well, you can't judge me. All right? You're not grievous unto that person. You're grievous unto God. That's what bothers you. God is what bothers you. That's what it is. That person that's trying to give you the right advice and give you a helping hand, if you get upset about it, you're upset at something greater than just that person. And them demons that's sitting inside of you is pushing you further away from God. Right? Read on.
He for his life is not like for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion.
Right. How many I heard, oh, you think you're perfect? Are you perfect? Who are you to judge? Are you perfect? How many of y'all heard that before? Or nobody's perfect on this earth. How many of y'all heard that before?
Me, Salak.
God, I'm sure everybody done heard that before.
It's Salak. I got a preset for that, sir.
Oh, sure. There shit. There we go. Go ahead and hold that where you at Lewis, and read that real quick,
Salam.
Jaheer.
Con, I don't want con. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect.
Be what?
Be ye therefore perfect.
Hold on, read that one more time. You made that up?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Be ye therefore perfect,
Mm-hmm.
even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Dang. So what is this the goal that has been set by God, by Christ?
To be perfect.
To be perfect. To be perfect. If it was an impossibility, you think Christ will make that statement if it was impossible to do? It is a possibility to be perfect. You can be perfect. Now, don't think perfection as in you ace every test. You never will stub your toe as you walk in. You never trip and fall. That's not what perfection is. All right. Or you're like some AI calculated my brain human being that can calculate everything on this earth. That's not what it means to be perfect. All right. You may have a speech impediment. All right. You may stutter. You may do this. Doesn't mean you can't be perfect. You may not be as good as math. Doesn't mean you're not perfect. Right? What is perfection according to God?
So like
Mm-hmm.
following the laws, statutes, and commandments to the T.
Right. Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That is the goal. And we are to perfect our lives to that. Perfect it. You get what I'm saying? Every law that's written of in the Bible, we are to perfect it. And it's possible in doing it. You can do it. Tell me what ball player that don't go on that basketball court and thinking of winning the NBA Finals at the end of the season. There is no ball player on that basketball court that's thinking, well, I'm gonna just try my best, and if I get third place, that's fine. Like, what are you competing for then? You get what I'm saying? They compete on a national level because everybody is wanting that championship. So if you know the goal is getting that championship, what must they do? What must they do?
Wait,
Salaki, sir.
Go ahead. Somebody said Salaki.
Be perfect, sir.
Be perfect. How do they reach that? What they got to do when they hit the gym?
Practice. Train.
You got to train. You got to practice. Got to put in the work. You get what I'm saying? You got to practice. Right? In order to get that championship, you have to stay in the gym day in and day out shooting those free throws. You have to stay in the gym doing them exercises, doing the suicides. And the saying goes, the most common saying that people know, practice makes what?
Perfect.
Practice make perfect. You working at keeping the law, statute, commandments of God, eventually you're perfected. It's possible. You can be perfect. All right. And telling people what to do, right, will make people think, oh, that you can't do it because you're not perfect. Right? If you're not eating pork, telling somebody not to eat pork is the right thing to do. Right? Somebody said Salakia.
Con.
Go ahead.
And the Christians, they make it seem like it's so hard, like Christ was like a demigod or something. Like Christ was poor. Christ was homeless.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a worse condition than most Christians is, and he was perfect. And they act like they can't be perfect right with him.
Facts. Exactly right, man. He was made like unto his brothers. Same circumstances and conditions that we face in our present day in this captivity is the same thing Christ went through. And how do you expect to follow him? Right? If he's made to be an example unto man as a blueprint to follow on this earth, how could we follow him if he's a demigod? You get what I'm saying? Ain't none of us guys on this earth, right? We're guys, in lowercase g and power, yeah. But we're not, some fourth dimensional being that, that's infallible and all of that stuff. We have made mistakes. Now, there is a blueprint that has been set that's made just like you, that's made in the same flesh as you, grew up in the same circumstances as you. And we follow him so we can reach perfection the same way he was at the level of perfection.
It's lucky.
And it takes a lot of correction to get there. Somebody says Salaki?
Concert, Salaki, if I could.
Go ahead, soldier.
Just to add to what Jaheem was saying, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like Christ had his followers quit their job. Meanwhile, Christian churches, they'll kick you out the church if you ain't got a job.
Damn. They'll kick you out of church. All right. That's what. But I guess nobody can judge nobody. I don't know.
If apparently, because tithes is supposed to be right. Tithes is supposed to be 10% of any increase, right? Well, they'll kick you out of the job. I mean, they'll kick you out of the church if you're not getting no increases. Like if you can't pay tithes, like there's no excuse for you not to pay tithes for them. But every other law is done away with. You can't pay tithes. You good is gone. You know what I'm saying? Because they need that. They want that money, just like a pimp.
That's nothing but the truth. Facts, man. That is nothing but the truth, man. You know what I mean? You know why? Because the Christian church is the house of the unrighteous. Everything that we're reading about in Wisdom of Solomon is what the Christian church produces in our communities. The mindset that it provides for us. For us to live a lifestyle thinking that there is no consequences behind it. Living a lifestyle and thinking that nobody can tell you what you're doing is wrong. When oftentimes that mindset can lead you to great danger. Right? Jump me back to where we was at, Lewis, in Wisdom of Solomon.
The book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 16. We are esteemed of him as comforts. Ye abstain from our ways, from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and he maketh his boast that God is his father. Verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
Right, and that's how they think. You know what I mean? That's the mindset of it. The Christian church. You know what I mean? That's how we've been pushed or programmed to believe that this is they're wrong. That you're wrong for wanting to be perfect. You're wrong for telling somebody what to do. That as if it's an evil thing to correct people. And all in all, they sitting back trying to find a way to sabotage you. Right? Because the guilt inside is eating alive. Right? Get rid of that pride. Get rid of that ego. Just get rid of it. All right? There's no reason why you should feel that. Well, you should feel that guilt inside, right? Like the scriptures say, a contrite heart is I'm paraphrasing, acceptable unto the Lord, right? You should feel hurt behind what you do or guilty behind what you do. You know what I mean? But don't use that guilt as a way to be malicious against somebody else. You get what I'm saying? Or to be envious against your brother. Take that correction. Because they're not judging you. They're just correcting you. Right? Read on.
Verse 18. For if the just man be the son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Verse 19. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Verse 20.
Can I read on? Can I get a time
Let
frame
us
real quick? My bad.
so like it says as 906.
All right, you can continue on.
Khan, verse 20. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be res- respected. Verse 21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived for
And
their
was what?
own weakness. Such things they have imagined and were deceived.
Now, this is what Solomon is saying in regards to the unrighteous that imagine evil against the righteous, that imagine evil against people that was telling them what to do on what is right and what is wrong, right? Those same people who felt like they can live whatever they want, YOLO, and do whatever they want, right, are being deceived, right? They're being deceived, right? Because they don't understand that there is a consequence behind what you do, right? Read on.
For their own wickedness have blinded them. Verse
Their own
22.
what?
Their own wickedness have blinded them.
Right, read on.
Verse 22. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not.
Mm-hmm.
Neither hope they neither neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. Verse 23.
Okay, you continue on.
For God created man to be immortal, and him and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Mm. You know what I'm saying? God created us to keep the law, statute, commandments. That's where you're gonna find immortality from, right? And it's not in the sense of you living until for 2,000 years and never dying on this earth, right? It's talking about living, actually living by the blessings or the standards that the Lord set in Deuteronomy 28. God created that for us, man. All those blessings that we read about. That's what living really is. Right now in America, we're not living, we're surviving, man. Eating off of the crumbs off of our oppressor. You know why? Because don't nobody want to be told what's right. Let alone don't nobody want to get right. Right? But those that don't want to get right, you're only deceiving yourself, led away by your own wickedness. All right, read on.
Verse 24. Nevertheless, though envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Mm-hmm. Right? To the envy of these nations, the envy of wanting to be like our oppressor, the envy wanting to join these other nations, thinking that we can do what they do. Right? They women dress like a whore. Our women think they can do the same. Their people are drug addicts and murderers and criminals and thieves. Our people think we can do the same thing. And it's all behind the mindset, you can't judge me, nobody's perfect. There you go. It's all behind that mindset. Only got one life to live. You can't judge me, nobody's perfect. Well, the Bible says that the saints shall judge the earth, that we're going to judge even the smallest matters. The Bible says that the righteous is made to reprove the thoughts of the unrighteous. Christ also said that you have to be perfect. Correction is needed in order to build morality. Right? Finish that out. Any more on that?
Nah, sir.
Right. There's only two type of people on this earth. Right? The ones that's willing to do what's right and the ones that don't give a damn at all.
Right.
Right? At the end of the day, it's up to you. You're going to have to look in that mirror and decide which one is you. That's what you're going to have to do. Either you take the correction and start doing what's right, or just say the hell with it and find out what the end is going to be for you. All right? And with that, big up all sides to Zab. Big up, Trooper Kanak. Who else? Trooper Kaya R, young man Lewis, young man Jaheem, everybody that joined in
Right.
to the class. Somebody said Salakia. All right. So the questions, man. I see some answers in the questions. Let me go through what I got real quick. I ain't gonna hold y'all on for too long. Let me see what we got. All right, 7 schools. I ain't seen nobody put the precept down though. All right. Fear Lord, keep the commandments, correct. 14:2, correct. 7 churches, that is correct, but you got to put the precept. King Saul, that's correct. What's number 4? Fear the Lord, yeah, keep the commandments. Number 5, Lewis put Hosea 1 and 10, that is correct. Now, somebody got to find a precept for the 7 churches before I end it out, or else we're going to have to roll over until next week. We're going to roll over to next week. Y'all going to study some more and try to find the precept?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Isn't it the old chapter of Revelation 2 and Revelation 3?
Okay,
Because it
where
says
does
in
it
the
says? Well,
because
what
it
I'm
says
getting
in
at.
there like
Go ahead. Yeah, you got it.
because it says in there like where to the church in Philadelphia, like it names all the churches in both chapters.
Right. It does name the churches, but it also gives a verse in telling you that the candlesticks represent those 7 churches that he names. Right. So there's a verse in there that tells you that those 7 candles is these 7 churches. So as long as you get that precept, put it in there. Listen, you might win the prize. If you can find it,
Right.
I'll give you 5 seconds. 5. I'll play.
So like, I won't be able to find it.
Okay, no sweat. I'll roll over till next week, everybody. So guess what? Y'all still got an opportunity to win the prize. All right, y'all. So make sure y'all like and subscribe, tune in, and you want to let them know what we got going on as well. Also,
Can you hear me?
Can I hear you, word?
All right, so up next, man, we got the War as Usual webcast hosting Officer Thawashab, myself, as well as Officer Lapayat. I mean, we might go into the whole Israel thing, what's going on. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to tune in. Look up War as Usual, no spaces, on YouTube. All right, look it up. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Follow the channel, and you know what I'm saying, wait to get that notification, hit that bell. About to go live around 9:30. You know what I'm saying? We got some special guests coming in tonight. So you know what I'm saying? Definitely want to be in there tonight. We're gonna do it up big.
All right, there you go. Do you want to post the link to the YouTube channel in the chat?
Okay.
If you could, Baba. Right, this is the YouTube channel that you can find the podcast at. Right, I want to see y'all subscribe to it, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you subscribe to it. Put a 1 in the chat, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat. There you go. Most High in Christ, the water giant. Where the ones at, y'all? He gonna post the link, right? That's the link right there. Right? That's where you're gonna find the podcast, man. Make sure y'all tune in after class. You know what I mean? So y'all can continue in this, word that we bringing out. All right. So make sure y'all subscribe. The water sis subscribing as well. Make sure y'all subscribe so we can get this truth out there. All right. So with that, man, anything else? Anything I'm leaving out?
Babylon is falling.
Yeah, I'm right, man. Shalom, Israel.